Welcome back to the Sticky Art channel. If you're new here, my name is Justin, and in this video I'm going to be super cleaning my Paperlike matte screen protector for the iPad Pro. This works on pretty much all matte screen protectors, and I'm going to be using household items. The gloves are definitely optional, but I'm going to be using them for this video's sake. I'm going to be washing all of 2020's grease and everything else off of my iPad. I'm going to show step by step how to clean the Paperlike 2 to keep it performing like it was new. First thing you want to do is turn off any apps as well as save anything you're working on and completely power down the iPad. Next, I'm going to remove the case off of the iPad. I'm going to take my iPad pen and remove it first, and then go ahead and remove the case. Make sure when you're doing this to be really careful, especially with the iPad Pro, that while it is out of the case to not bend the iPad. And for the water, I'm just mixing with 1 drop of dishwashing liquid. Doesn't really matter the brand, something that is good on grease. And this stuff is really powerful, so really less is best. 1 drop of this will, I think, clean at least 50 birds from an oily beach, so make sure to use as little as possible. Once you have it mixed up, go ahead and soak the towel in it and then squeeze it and squeeze out every drop of water. Make sure that it is damp, not wet. And the way you can make sure to do that is if you squeeze it, if anything drips out, it is wet. If nothing comes out, then it is damp and you're good to go. #damplife. While the matte protector protects from fingerprints, you can definitely see the finger oil that is left behind, all the smudges, as well as the residue and some of the dust particles that have built up on the edges of the screen. I definitely can notice when I'm writing on the further bottom right of the screen, it feels like it is more worn down, especially after I've been using it a lot. And that's just from the finger oils and my oils in my hand when I rest my hand or fingers on the screen. To start off cleaning, I'm going to wipe down everything very gently, making sure not to put any pressure on the actual screen. This is just going to get off of any loose debris or anything that could potentially actually scratch the screen. Once you have it for the most part clean, you can come back with a clean piece of towel, or just by folding it over, you can get a clean side of it and go in a nice and light circle motion. Don't need to apply really any pressure. All you're really doing is letting the paper towel go over the top of the Paperlike, and it is picking up the grease. And then I fold it over and make another clean little area and do the same thing for at least a second time. You can definitely do this another time depending on how dirty your screen is, but you'll see over time, you're going to see less and less of these little grease stains when you dry it. Once you're happy with all of the grease coming off, you want to move on to the next stage in wiping it down, which is another piece of towel in clean water, and go ahead and squeeze out all the water just like you did. You don't really want to have any water when dealing with the iPad just because it is an electronic. If you do get it in the speaker holes or anything like that, it could cause a lot of damage, so don't use any actual wet towels or anything like that around your iPad or any electronics. #join the damp side. And I'm going in circle motions here again. This is going to help clean off the iPad, and it just gets rid of the grease on top of the iPad, and make sure to hit all of the different angles. The Paperlike is one of the easiest to get really dirty just because the pores are very small and makes it almost a little bit harder to clean, but it also is what gives it that really nice equal texture. So as long as you have it super clean, you should get almost a brand new feel to it. And one last thing, I'm going to go ahead and wipe everything down with a dry paper towel. You can, if you have a new microfiber, you can wipe it down with that, but you don't want to wipe it down with any used old microfiber towels just because they're going to have grease in them. Here's what it looked like right after it was done and completely dried and also wiped clean. Here is a before and after. You can tell a pretty big difference just by looking at it. By cleaning the Paperlike 2, the other thing that it solves or helps solve is the color rainbowing effect. If you have a oily or finger oil on the screen and you look at it at different angles, you are going to see more of a rainbow effect. The Paperlike 2 does this the least of all the matte screen protectors. Some of them do it a little bit worse just on their own, but once you clean it, you should see a lot less of that effect. One last but very important tip is for pen tip hygiene. You really want to keep the pen tip clean. If it is dirty, it is going to wear down a lot faster, and it is not going to perform well on the Paperlike surface. I had a lot of questions in the comments of my Paperlike honest review of whether the Paperlike 2 wears down the Apple pen tip nib. And over the 5 months that I've been using it on the Paperlike 2, as well as the 3 months that I used it on the bare iPad glass, I've not really noticed any noticeable wear and tear. However, I'm going to be buying the replacement Apple pen tip nibs to see how they compare side by side for the 6-month review. Once the Paperlike and Apple pen are completely clean and dry, I'm going to go ahead and test them out and actually test out the Paperlike to see if there's any spots on it that are worn down or anything like that. So to do that, I'm just going to go straight across the screen, equal pressure, and see if there's anything that I notice as far as sound or feel. And so far, I have not really noticed any wear and tear on the Paperlike. I'm really impressed by it after 5 months of regular use. Another really good test, rather than just going directly across, is also to go up, down, or like in a diagonal direction with equal pressure. I'm going to do this all over the screen just to see if there's different areas, maybe places where I use more that are worn down more. And as far as I can tell, I cannot really see anything that I notice on my screen after 5 months. I will update this, like I said, in 1 more month. And last but definitely not least, I want to say a big thank you, everyone. The channel just hit 30,000 subscribers. I can't believe the amazing support from everyone. I really appreciate it. And it is thanks to everyone for sharing and liking the videos. It is really helping YouTube figure out that what I'm putting out is good. So if you do enjoy it, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, as well as if you want to see more art videos from me, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for when I post my newest videos. If you do have any other questions on the Paperlike or any other screen protectors or anything in general, please let me know in the comments below, and I will try to respond to as many comments in the next video. And until next time, stay moist, tadpoles and pollywogs. Peace.